señores, por favor.
Buenas tardes. Good morning, along we go.
Very early morning.
Yep, this is 5:15. Curfew ended about an hour and 15 minutes ago. We are here in Antigua, Guatemala. This has been our home for the last 3 months, but we are leaving.
With everything happening with the coronavirus, we've had to put the rest of our travel plans on hold. And as many internationals have been leaving Antigua, Guatemala, we have decided to do the same. So we are heading to Florida today, to my parents' house in Florida.
The State Department is flying us out on a chartered flight from Guatemala City direct to Dallas. And then once we're in Dallas, we're going to catch a connecting flight. This is not how we planned our march, but this is what's happening. It's beyond our control. We're going to do what we think is best at this point. We do plan on continuing our travels. We still want to go to Mexico. We still want to go to Colombia, a whole bunch of other places. We're just going to have to put that on hold right now until this ends. We don't know how long it's going to take, but we hope it's soon.
And I am relieved that at least we have the option to go home because the airport in Guatemala is shut down. It has been shut down for about a week now, and it's going to be shut down probably for the foreseeable future. So I'm fortunate that we are able to get on this flight today.
Until yesterday, our plan was to take a car up to the Mexican border and then fly out of Mexico to go to the States. But last minute, we got a call from the embassy offering us 2 seats that we are paying out of pocket on this chartered flight. But it is our best option right now, so we're going to take it. We'll show you the whole journey as we get evacuated back to the U.S. The fire department is going by spraying the streets down. They have asked people to buy these little cheap bags of bleach. They are going to spray bleach onto the street. Buenas tardes. ¿Te puedo donar una bolsita de cloro? Okay, muchas gracias por todo. Today is the very first day of curfew, starting at 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. The government is enforcing a mandatory curfew. No one is to be out on the street because of the coronavirus. They are taking this pandemic very seriously in Guatemala. So what you see over here is Primera Avenida. This is one of the busiest avenues in all of Antigua. This is usually where all of the buses from Guatemala City come into the city of Antigua. This is usually the busiest corner in all of Antigua, and this is what it looks like at this point. Today we are looking essentially at a ghost town here in Antigua. Solamente. I'm just inside of my neighborhood store over here buying some booze. I mean, what are you going to do when you're all locked up in the house? But that's what we're doing. I don't know how long supplies are going to last for, but that's what I'm doing. I'm walking up to the main grocery store in town called La Bodegona. As you can see, all the tuk-tuk drivers, most people who are still working are masked up. ¿Es fila para entrar? They are obviously limiting the number of people who can get in. And just for the record, there's still a bunch of toilet paper here in Antigua. This is the entrance to the Antigua market. This is absolutely the most bustling part of town on a regular day. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of people in this market, stalls of all sorts. Today, a ghost town. There's nobody in this market. Usually on Sundays, there's an absolutely beautiful Mayan market. It is empty. What a strange feeling. If you are reading this, go home, take care of your family.
Wow.
So after a little bit of a scare,
A lot of a scare. So we just finished panicking, but we also just found out that we are on the list to get on the flight today.
yes, at first we were told that maybe we would be on the standby flight, something like that, because we hadn't gotten the confirmation email. But after speaking to someone else from the embassy, we are definitely on the 917 flight, which is actually an American Airlines flight that's been chartered by the U.S. Embassy. Meg, what was your temperature?
6?
I was 35. Okay. We are lined up to sign a promissory note for a total of, we're not really sure, well, maybe $600 each to get back home.
The cost of this flight is unknown. We also don't know if we also have to pay for our bags. They indicated yesterday that we do. That price is not included in our ticket.
Obviously, during an emergency situation, I think that cost should not be a barrier to get on this flight. We are lucky and privileged that we could afford this to get on the flight, although it is a stretch. I imagine that there are families with many members who cannot get on this flight. Price is certainly a barrier when it's $600 a person for a one-way ticket.
I can barely open my eyes. I'm so tired, but we are boarding the plane.
Well, isn't that kind of normal for you, though?
Hey, woke up at 3:45.
I never would have imagined that almost 6 months after arriving in Guatemala, after an amazing time traveling through El Salvador, through Nicaragua, and through getting to know the beautiful country of Guatemala, never would have imagined that this is how we return home.
I know, but we will be back.
This is the year that we both quit our jobs, that we left Chicago, that we kind of threw everything up into the air, upended our lives. Now, I don't think our travels are over, but just temporarily on hold. So we have officially made it onto the airplane. It's been a tumultuous 24 hours or so. We made it. We're on the plane on the way to Dallas. So after speaking with the crew here, we explained that we have a kind of a tight layover to get to Florida, and they've actually allowed us to sit up in first class for the landing. Folks, not a single person in the whole customs area. We're the only passengers in here. We are on our second flight from Dallas to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. This is the last leg of our journey before we arrive home. Almost 6 months after leaving this airport to Guatemala, here we are again in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Under very strange circumstances.
This whole thing seems so surreal. Like, I don't know what to make of this. I don't know how to process this yet. I think we're still processing. It's happening so quickly, almost by the hour. The situation's changing.
We're also noticing how different it is here than in Guatemala. People are not really taking it very seriously.
Yeah, Guatemala was shut down. There were no cars on the streets. The airport
There's
was
so many
closed.
people in this airport.
I guess we haven't left the airport yet, but we'll see. There are more people in Fort Lauderdale than there were in the Dallas airport, for sure. Although the coronavirus pandemic has put our plans on hold for now, we intend to continue our travels throughout Latin America once it's safe for us to do so.
But for now, if you'd like to support our content, please subscribe to our channel and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, stay safe, stay home, and wash your hands.